Okay, today the date is 18th August 2021. Imraz Iqbal. Okay, now that Muhyiddin has already resigned, he's no longer the PM, only the caretaker PM, making way for the new PMs. What was his departing message? He wanted to extend an olive branch. He wanted uh, opposition to assist him to protect the government. Why? Because he wanted to bring glory back to the country. He wants to resolve the pandemic and rebuild the economy together in unity. That was outrightly rejected and probably rightfully so. Okay. Now he also warned of the kleptocrats coming back to power, implying that people like Najib, Zahid and all the rest will go scot-free. So therefore, it will be ruining the country. Okay, so if he stands and he was sincere by what he says, okay, now better than ever, now's the time for Muhyiddin to make a difference, because now it appears imminent that Ismail Sabri is going to be PM, because he has all the support. He's got the numbers, about 115. So therefore, presented today, most probably by Friday, Agong will swear him in as PM. Most probably DPM is going to be Hamzah Zainuddin, and we know what Hamzah Zainuddin is about. So therefore, we are ruined. It's going to be worse than during Najib punya era. The country is going to go to the dogs. Now is the time for all the treachery of Muhyiddin and everything. If he wants to redeem himself, now is the best time to offer that olive branch. Now is the time to say, hey, Pakatan Harapan, I'm sorry I did everything that I did. I'm sorry I stabbed your back. I was mistaken. It's taken the country down the ruts now. I cannot go back and undo the past, but I can now mitigate the situation. Let me tilt the scale. Me and some of my comrades from Bersatu, he should choose wisely the ones that people will accept and say, look, accept my apology. I am throwing my support to Pakatan Harapan for Anwar to become PM. Tilt the scale toward Ismail Sabri and UMNO and the kleptocrats coming back to power. Save the day he becomes a momentary hero that's worthy of forgiveness for what he has done. And if Anwar becomes PM, he's part of the government. Never know. In future, maybe he too can come back to power. Maybe he too can become a minister at least, or a prime minister. But he can go back and join, leave the dark force, and go back and do the right thing and save this Malaysia from his real enemies that backstab him, that just got him out and pull support under his leg. This is what Muhyiddin should do. I really hope he hears this, because he can make a difference. The SD got to be submitted by 4 p.m. today. He has got slightly less than 6 hours to pull that stunt. Pakatan Harapan may be too proud to ask Muhyiddin for help, which I think Pakatan should not be. Pakatan Harapan should be inclusive. If they want to become government, if Anwar thinks he is befitting to be PM, he should be inclusive, even offer an olive branch to the enemy. As long as the enemy is not enemy to the state. Muhyiddin is not known to have any court cases. He's not of the court cluster. So therefore, if Muhyiddin now is offered this with dignity, and Muhyiddin also wants to lend credence to the new Pakatan Harapan ruling, then please do now and save Malaysia to have the governance it deserves. And Muhyiddin can be together with this government as Bersatu, or whatever the case may be. And then it left to Anwar and the cabinet to decide now, how much Bersatu should play a role. Because if they don't do anything now, they are the one that tilt the scale. Remember the langkah Sheraton? Who tilted the scale and make Pakatan Harapan the government that was mandated by the rakyat become opposition? It was Muhyiddin and Bersatu and the traitors Azmi Ali and gang, right? Now, the one that's going to be government is BN now. It's going to be Ismail Sabri and gang. He can undo what he did by now tilting the scale to the other way. He can do that as an MP. Again, what does Muhyiddin wants to be remembered as? Muhyiddin can be this momentary hero that the rakyat requires most. I've seen movies, I've seen cartoons where the villain at the time most needed turns and saves the day and saves the lives of the heroes, and therefore, they end up in the good books and celebrated in the movie. So again, if this reaches to Muhyiddin, will he think of doing such a noble thing, or he will just be what people say he was, and people will be glad that we got rid of him and he just finish off the remaining part of his caretaker prime minister thing and be damned forever for whatever he's done to put back Malaysia into the hands of the kleptocrats. Again, Muhyiddin's choice now. He can be the kingmaker now, and he needs to know that.